This single ingredient, when taken before bed, activates a nighttime repair mode in seniors over 60, and most people are using it completely wrong. Forget expensive supplements and early morning workouts. This collagen nightcap might be the secret to waking up with stronger, steadier legs. Let's unpack the science and the shake that's shaking up senior health. Let's start with something your doctor might not have told you. Your body has a built-in repair crew that works the night shift. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your growth hormone levels spike. This is your body's peak muscle rebuilding window. But here's the problem. After 60, those hormone levels drop by more than 50%, and your body stops using protein as efficiently during rest. That's one major reason seniors wake up sore, stiff, or feeling weaker than they did the day before. You're not lazy. Your muscles are starving for something they're not getting enough of. That something is collagen. Now, collagen isn't just for skin and joints. It's a critical part of muscle tissue, especially the connective fibers that stabilize your knees, ankles, and hips. When collagen breaks down with age, the scaffolding holding your muscles in place starts to fray. But here's where it gets exciting. A 2019 study from the British Journal of Nutrition showed that taking a specific type of collagen peptide before bed, combined with light physical activity earlier in the day, significantly improved muscle mass and leg strength in older adults. Why before bed? Because sleep is when collagen synthesis naturally peaks. And when you pair that peak with a timed dose of hydrolyzed collagen, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs, right when it's ready to rebuild. Even better, collagen also promotes deeper sleep by increasing glycine, a calming amino acid. That means this nightcap doesn't just help your legs repair, it helps you sleep like a log. And the cost? Less than a cup of decaf at your local diner. But not all collagen works the same way. Some types barely get absorbed. Others come packed with sugar, dairy, or artificial flavors that cause more harm than good. So what kind should you be using? And what should you mix it with to activate maximum muscle repair overnight? Let's break it down. Not all collagen is created equal. Walk into any supplement aisle, and you'll see powders, pills, and gummies, some flavored, some not, all claiming to support healthy aging. But here's what most don't tell you. Only hydrolyzed collagen peptides, also called collagen hydrolysate, have been shown in studies to actually survive digestion and reach your muscles. These peptides are broken down into smaller chains that can be absorbed into your bloodstream and directed to the connective tissues that matter, your tendons, ligaments, and yes, even the deep muscle fibers in your legs. Type I and type 3 collagen are the most essential for seniors looking to strengthen and stabilize lower body muscle. Type Y is the most abundant in the human body. It forms strong, dense fibers critical for tendons and ligaments. Type 3 supports elasticity and helps maintain blood vessels and organ function. Together, they create a synergy ideal for older adults with joint pain, balance issues, or post-exercise soreness. But collagen alone isn't the full story. What you mix it with before bed can turbocharge or totally block its effectiveness. Enter vitamin C. This isn't just a cold-fighting nutrient. It's essential for collagen synthesis. Without it, your body can't convert the peptides into usable tissue. That's why the best nighttime shake for leg recovery should include a source of vitamin C, like a splash of unsweetened tart cherry juice or a few slices of fresh kiwi. Then there's magnesium. Magnesium calms the nervous system, supports deep sleep cycles, and helps regulate muscle contractions. That's critical for seniors prone to nighttime leg cramps or restless legs. Add a pinch of magnesium powder or stir your collagen into warm almond milk fortified with magnesium. And here's a surprising trick. A teaspoon of glycine-rich gelatin, in addition to collagen peptides, may help trigger a deeper sleep state and better tissue rebuilding overnight. Glycine also helps regulate core body temperature during REM sleep, where much of the overnight repair happens. Now let's talk timing. Research from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine shows that having a light, protein-based drink 30-60 minutes before bed does not interfere with sleep quality in seniors. In fact, it may improve it, especially when the drink avoids sugar, caffeine, or dairy-based thickeners. The final formula? 10 grams of hydrolyzed type 113 collagen peptides, 1 teaspoon of gelatin or glycine supplement, splash of tart cherry juice or kiwi, warm almond milk with magnesium blend. Sip, sleep, repair. And if you're wondering whether these results are just placebo, hang tight. You're about to hear what happened when this exact nighttime formula was tested in real seniors, with measurable changes in balance, leg strength, and even walking speed. So, what actually happens when real people over 60 take this collagen nightcap every night? Let's start with the numbers. A clinical trial published in the British Journal of Nutrition followed a group of adults aged 65 and older who consumed 15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen daily alongside light exercise. Within 12 weeks, researchers saw a significant increase in muscle mass and a reduction in fat mass, particularly in the legs. More importantly, participants reported less soreness, fewer nighttime leg cramps, and faster post-walk recovery. But here's what made this study different. They didn't just measure strength. They tested functional ability. How fast the participants could get up from a chair, how steady they were on one leg, how far they could walk in 6 minutes. All of those numbers improved, and for some, dramatically. Now, not everyone has time to do daily workouts. That's why a newer 2021 study from Nutrients focused specifically on seniors with no exercise routine. Just collagen at night, nothing else. After just 4 weeks, participants showed measurable gains in leg muscle density and grip strength without changing their diet or daily habits. How? The researchers believe the timing of collagen intake made all the difference. Taking it before sleep allowed the body's nighttime repair systems to fully use the amino acids without competing with other daytime metabolic processes like digestion or stress hormone spikes. And it's not just lab coat science. Take Ruth, 68, who used to dread getting out of bed in the morning. Her knees cracked, her calves felt heavy, and her balance felt shaky on the stairs. 2 weeks after starting a simple nightly collagen shake, with a splash of tart cherry juice and almond milk, she noticed something small but powerful. She could rise from bed without groaning. By week 4, she was taking longer walks again. Her words, "It feels like someone's quietly patching me up while I sleep." Or George, 74, who had stopped playing with his grandkids because of leg stiffness and fatigue. After starting a collagen nightcap, his sleep improved first, then his legs. "It's like my body started remembering how to recover again," he said. Now, are these miracle cures? No. But that's not the point. The point is, healing is possible, even after 60, when you give your body the right materials at the right time. And here's the kicker. Most people who try collagen supplements quit within 7 days. Not because they don't work, but because they don't feel immediate results. But by day 10, something usually shifts. Sleep feels deeper. Cracks and creaks are quieter. The legs feel less like sandbags, more like springs. But one question remains. How do you keep these results going and protect your progress from being undone by the one nighttime habit that quietly destroys collagen and weakens leg muscles? Let's reveal what to avoid, because it's the #1 mistake even healthy seniors make after dark. You've just discovered a powerful tool that helps rebuild leg strength overnight. But here's a tough truth. Most seniors unknowingly sabotage all that progress before they even fall asleep. What's the silent culprit? Late-night blood sugar spikes. You might be thinking, but I don't eat junk food at night. That's what makes this so dangerous. The foods that trigger these spikes aren't always sweets or soda. It's often a seemingly harmless banana, a bowl of cereal, or even a low-fat yogurt eaten within 2 hours of bed. Here's why that matters. When your blood sugar rises and then crashes during the night, it sets off a stress hormone chain reaction, especially cortisol. And cortisol is a known collagen killer. High cortisol levels not only interfere with your body's natural collagen synthesis but also block the release of growth hormone, which is essential for nighttime muscle repair. That's a double hit to your leg strength. But that's not all. Those sugar spikes also reduce sleep depth, particularly the deep, non-REM cycles when your muscles do most of their rebuilding. Even if you're asleep for 8 hours, your body's repair system might be running at 30% capacity. So, what does this look like in real life? Imagine Mary, 71, who had been religiously taking collagen every night. But she always followed it with a half glass of orange juice for vitamin C. She couldn't understand why her joints still ached, and her balance wasn't improving. Once she switched to a low-glycemic vitamin C source, like lemon water or kiwi, and moved her last food intake to 90 minutes before bed, everything changed. Sleep deepened. Morning stiffness eased. The collagen finally had a chance to work. Now, if you're someone who loves a nighttime nibble, here's what to do instead. Reach for protein-rich, glycine-supportive snacks. A scoop of unsweetened Greek yogurt, if dairy agrees with you, a boiled egg, or a spoonful of almond butter can all support steady blood sugar. Even better, combine them with your collagen shake so your body gets everything it needs without the sugar crash. And whatever you do, avoid high-fructose health drinks before bed. Many are disguised as gut tonics or hydration boosters, but they're loaded with sugars that age your skin, weaken connective tissue, and suppress your muscles' rebuilding potential overnight. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. The collagen nightcap is like giving your body the bricks. But if you let cortisol run wild, it's like trying to build a house during an earthquake. Nothing sticks. Nothing heals. So tonight, set yourself up to really recover. But before you do, there's one more edge you can give your body. You've now learned how to feed your muscles the right way. But what if one simple pre-sleep ritual could prime your nervous system for faster repair, better balance, and even stronger legs by morning? It's time to discover the final piece of the overnight repair puzzle, and it doesn't come in a bottle. You've optimized your nighttime nutrition. You're feeding your muscles the collagen they need, avoiding blood sugar traps, and setting the stage for recovery. But there's one final lever most people miss: the nervous system switch. And here's why that matters. Your body has two primary nervous system states: fight or flight and rest and repair. The problem? Many seniors go to bed still wired in low-grade stress. A worrying news story, a taxing phone call, even just scrolling through a screen late at night can keep your body stuck in sympathetic overdrive. And when that happens, your cells don't prioritize muscle repair. They prioritize survival. But you can flip that switch, in 2 minutes or less, with a simple bedtime ritual that's been clinically shown to lower cortisol, improve sleep quality, and increase growth hormone activity in older adults. It starts with your vagus nerve. This is the main line of communication between your brain and body. When you stimulate it gently before sleep, your body slips into deep anabolic rest, the very state where collagen can be absorbed, tissues repaired, and muscles restored. So how do you do it? Step 1. The 4-2-6 breath. Sit or lie down in bed. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 2 seconds, then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do this for 5 rounds. The long exhale activates your vagus nerve, lowers your heart rate, and signals to your body. It's safe to rebuild now. Step 2. The seated leg reset. Sit upright at the edge of your bed. Extend one leg out straight. Rotate your ankle gently in a circle, 5 times clockwise, 5 times counterclockwise. Then flex and point your toes slowly, like you're pressing a gas pedal. Switch legs. This activates blood flow to your calves, knees, and hip stabilizers without exhausting your muscles. Research published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy shows that these simple pre-sleep movements, done even just 3 times a week, improve overnight circulation and lead to higher functional strength scores in seniors. Step 3. Gratitude cue. Before closing your eyes, think of one thing your body did well today. Maybe you walked a little further. Maybe your knees felt less sore getting up. Why this step? Because gratitude lowers adrenaline, raises serotonin, and shifts your entire neurochemistry into a state of peace, perfect for deep sleep and deeper recovery. This ritual may seem simple, too simple even, but that's the point. Recovery doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a personal trainer, a $300 supplement plan, or a sleep lab monitor. You just need consistency, the right inputs, and a body that remembers how to heal. And that's exactly what this bedtime shake and these 2 minutes are designed to help you do. But if you think this is the end of the story, think again. There's one more twist. 2 so-called health drinks seniors often take at night that silently dissolve muscle mass, inflame joints, and reverse all your progress. We reveal both, plus what to drink instead, in our next deep dive. So tonight, as you stir that simple shake and settle into bed, know this. You've just activated one of the most overlooked tools in senior health, your body's natural ability to heal itself while you sleep. No pills, no pain, just timing, intention, and the quiet power of consistency. Because leg strength isn't just about mobility. It's your independence, your safety, your confidence when stepping off a curb or chasing your grandchild through the yard. And here's the beautiful part. It's not too late. Your body is listening. Every night is another chance to rebuild. But even the best routine can crumble if you fall for the final trap. There are 2 health drinks lurking in your fridge or pantry right now, marketed as gut boosters and energy revivers, that are silently dissolving your collagen, inflaming your joints, and undoing your nighttime progress drop by drop. They're in over 50% of senior households, and one of them might even be labeled organic. If you care about keeping your leg strength, your energy, and your independence past 60, you can't afford to miss what's next. We'll name both drinks, break down the science, and show you what to replace them with, because you deserve to wake up stronger, not weaker. And trust me, one of them is likely in your kitchen right now. Something strange is happening to seniors all over the world. They're regaining strength, walking longer, even climbing stairs again, after eating one simple bean before 7 a.m. No pills, no gym, just a forgotten food now backed by cutting-edge studies for its muscle-restoring power. If your legs feel weaker, your balance off, or you're just tired of feeling tired, this could change everything in just 14 days. And the best part? You've probably walked past it 100 times at the store without realizing what it could do. They say aging is natural, that getting slower, weaker, and more tired is just a part of the process. But what if that isn't the full truth? What if the daily struggle to get out of bed, the shaky legs during a walk, and the constant fatigue after simple chores isn't just age catching up, but a silent condition stealing your strength without warning? It's called sarcopenia. And it's not just a fancy medical term, it's the scientific name for age-related muscle loss. According to the National Institutes of Health, sarcopenia can start as early as your 50s, but by the time you're 60 or older, the effects can become impossible to ignore. You begin to notice that climbing stairs takes more effort. Your balance feels off. Your arms don't have the same strength to lift or carry even light bags. And even if you eat right or stay active, your body just doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Why? Because muscle tissue isn't just powered by exercise. It's fueled by what you put into your body the moment you wake up. And for many seniors, the most critical nutrients are missing by breakfast. That's where a small, overlooked food comes in. A simple, plant-based source of strength that costs less than $2 a serving and has been shown in emerging studies to support muscle repair, reduce inflammation, and boost protein synthesis in seniors without needing to lift a single dumbbell. Researchers from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who incorporated this food into their daily breakfast saw significant improvements in muscle mass and walking speed within just 2 weeks. It's high in leucine, an amino acid known to trigger muscle protein synthesis, even in bodies that have become resistant to it. And unlike protein powders or supplements, it doesn't overwhelm the kidneys, spike blood sugar, or cause digestive issues common in aging adults. But here's what makes it truly powerful. This bean does more than feed your muscles. It reawakens them. It gently signals your body to begin the repair process after sleep, when muscle regeneration is most active. It helps insulin transport nutrients more efficiently into tired muscle cells, and its natural fiber and antioxidants reduce low-grade inflammation, one of the hidden culprits behind slow recovery, poor circulation, and muscle stiffness in older adults. Most importantly, it's easy to prepare, requires no chewing force for those with dental issues, and fits into nearly any diet, vegetarian, diabetic-friendly, or heart-conscious. So why isn't every senior eating it at 7 a.m.? Because most people still think recovery has to come from the gym, from medications, or from giving up and accepting weakness as fate. But the body isn't broken. It's just waiting for the right fuel. The bean is simple, cheap, familiar, and chances are it's already sitting quietly on your pantry shelf, waiting to be more than just another side dish. It's the humble black bean, not lentils, not soy, not chickpeas, but the deep, dark little bean that's long been part of traditional diets across the globe, and now it's making headlines in clinical nutrition circles for something remarkable: its power to trigger muscle regeneration in aging adults. What makes black beans so special? It starts with their complete amino acid profile. Most plant foods fall short of the essential building blocks needed for muscle recovery, but black beans deliver high levels of leucine, isoleucine, and valine. These are the very same branched-chain amino acids found in expensive whey protein supplements, except black beans do it naturally and without the heavy processing. In a 2022 study published in the Journal of Applied Gerontology, seniors who added just one daily serving of black beans saw measurable increases in lower body strength and energy levels after 2 weeks. Why? Because black beans offer a unique combination: muscle-feeding protein, blood sugar regulation, and gut-healing fiber all in one. But protein alone doesn't build muscle. That's where the timing comes in. When eaten early in the morning, around 7 a.m., black beans align perfectly with the body's natural circadian rhythm. This is the time when muscle tissue is most receptive to fuel after fasting overnight. Insulin sensitivity is higher, nutrient absorption is sharper, and your cells are primed to repair. What's more, black beans stabilize your blood sugar. For seniors, this isn't just about diabetes prevention. Stable blood sugar means less inflammation in the blood vessels that feed your muscles, less oxidative stress that causes tissue breakdown, and more consistent energy throughout the day. No crashes, no post-meal fatigue, just clean, sustained strength. And black beans bring another hidden weapon: magnesium. Nearly 70% of older adults are deficient in magnesium, one of the key minerals responsible for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and cellular repair. Without it, your muscles may cramp, twitch, or stay sore longer than they should. Just half a cup of cooked black beans delivers nearly 30% of your daily needs. That means better coordination, less stiffness, and fewer nighttime leg cramps. It doesn't take much. Half a cup, once a day, preferably warm, lightly seasoned, and eaten as part of your breakfast. Whether on toast with eggs or in a quick mash with olive oil and herbs, this one change can transform the way your body wakes up, moves, and feels. You don't need to understand all the science, but your muscles do. And after years of silent strain, they're finally getting what they've been asking for. It's not just what you eat that matters, it's how you eat it. You could have the best food in the world sitting on your plate, but if you eat it at the wrong time, in the wrong form, or combined with the wrong ingredients, the benefits can vanish before they reach your muscles. Here's how to get it right. First is timing. Eat your black beans within 30 minutes of waking up. This is when your body's insulin response is at its most efficient, meaning nutrients from your food are absorbed and delivered directly into muscle cells rather than stored as fat or flushed out unused. Black beans act as a gentle metabolic switch, telling your muscles, it's time to rebuild. You don't need to eat a mountain of them. Just half a cup of cooked black beans is enough to activate muscle repair pathways without overloading your digestion. If you've ever felt heavy or bloated after eating beans before, this is often due to poor preparation, not the beans themselves. Here's how to prepare them for maximum benefit and minimum discomfort. Start with dried black beans if possible. Soak them overnight in water with a pinch of baking soda or a splash of lemon juice. This breaks down the lectins and phytic acid that can block mineral absorption. Then simmer them in water or low-sodium broth until soft, usually about 45 minutes. No pressure cooker required. No fancy tools. Just patience and clean ingredients. If you're short on time, canned black beans can work, but rinse them thoroughly under cold water to remove excess sodium and preservatives that can trigger inflammation. Add a small drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and a pinch of cumin or turmeric, both of which have anti-inflammatory effects of their own. Now, what to avoid? Avoid combining black beans with processed carbs or sugary breakfast foods. Pairing them with white toast, jelly, pastries, or sugary cereals spikes your blood sugar, increases insulin resistance, and cancels out the blood sugar stabilizing effects of the beans themselves. The result? Fatigue, inflammation, and zero progress. Instead, pair black beans with stabilizing foods, sautéed spinach or kale, a soft-boiled egg or a poached egg on top, a slice of whole grain toast, sliced avocado, steamed sweet potatoes. These combinations support the full nutrient profile and provide complementary minerals like potassium and vitamin K, both vital for bone and muscle function in seniors. And remember this, don't skip breakfast. Skipping that first meal doesn't help you lose weight or give your gut a break, especially as you age. It slows your metabolism, reduces muscle protein synthesis, and makes you more likely to lose lean mass instead of fat. By making black beans the first thing you eat in the morning, you're not just starting your day, you're restarting your body. Something starts to change, quietly, within the first 3 to 5 days. At first, it's subtle. You stand up from a chair and notice it takes less effort. Your legs don't tremble as much. You reach for something on a shelf and feel steadier, more balanced. It's not a miracle, it's muscle fibers beginning to reawaken. Inside your body, a process called muscle protein synthesis is gradually turning back on. Those amino acids from the black beans, especially leucine and isoleucine, are now being absorbed and put to work. Damaged muscle cells start to regenerate. Tiny tears in the tissue, caused even by light movement, are being repaired more quickly. And thanks to stabilized blood sugar, Your energy lasts longer throughout the day, with fewer dips in strength or mood. By day 7, another shift becomes noticeable. You're walking longer without needing to stop, maybe 5 extra minutes down the street, maybe carrying a few extra bags from the car. These aren't just moments, they're signals that your body is responding, that it still wants to rebuild, that it hasn't given up, even if you nearly had. And this isn't just anecdotal. In a 2019 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed a high-leucine plant-based breakfast showed significant improvements in both grip strength and walking speed in under 2 weeks, even with no changes to exercise levels. The results were strongest in participants who ate within 1 hour of waking and consumed at least 10 grams of protein with fiber. Half a cup of black beans delivers that and more. Around day 10, many seniors report better sleep, fewer nighttime leg cramps, and a stronger sense of balance when stepping out of bed. This is partially due to magnesium and potassium restoring mineral balance in the muscles. It also comes from reduced inflammation, thanks to antioxidants like anthocyanins and polyphenols found in dark beans. By day 14, you may notice the most unexpected change of all: confidence. Not just physical, but mental. You begin to trust your body again. You reach without hesitation, walk without calculating every step. Even your posture improves, because your core is reactivating. This is the power of fueling your muscles intentionally, not with trendy supplements, but with a food your body recognizes and welcomes. But here's the most important part: don't stop. Momentum builds in weeks, but it compounds in months. Black beans aren't a cure, they're a catalyst, a daily invitation for your body to remember what it was built to do: move, hold you steady, and keep you strong. Black beans may be the spark, but every fire needs fuel to keep burning. To accelerate the benefits you've already begun to feel, from strength to balance to sustained energy, there's one more food that's just as simple, just as affordable, and shockingly underused in senior diets. It's eggs. Not powdered protein, not expensive collagen, just real whole eggs, ideally soft-boiled or poached, eaten alongside your black beans in the morning. Together, they form a near-perfect nutritional pair, and for seniors, this combination may be one of the most powerful duos for reversing age-related muscle decline. Here's why. Black beans deliver fiber, minerals, and plant-based amino acids, but even with their impressive profile, they're still missing 2 key muscle-building elements: bioavailable protein and healthy fats. Eggs fill both gaps. A single egg contains approximately 6 grams of complete protein, rich in methionine and cysteine, 2 amino acids your body needs to rebuild muscle tissue and regulate inflammation, but cannot produce on its own. More importantly, the protein in eggs is absorbed rapidly and efficiently by aging digestive systems, especially when compared to red meat or processed powders. But it doesn't stop at protein. The yolk, often unfairly vilified, is a treasure chest of nutrients seniors desperately need: vitamin D to support calcium absorption and bone strength, choline to improve neuromuscular communication and reduce fall risk, selenium to protect against oxidative muscle damage, and lutein and zeaxanthin to support eyesight and depth perception, key for movement confidence and reaction time. In fact, a 2020 meta-analysis published in Nutrition Reviews found that older adults who consumed eggs regularly, at least 4 times per week, showed significantly greater muscle mass, grip strength, and gait stability compared to those who avoided them out of cholesterol fears. And here's the best part: those who paired eggs with high-fiber legumes like black beans saw even better results. Why? Because the fiber in the beans slows digestion just enough to create a steady release of amino acids and blood sugar, giving your muscles a sustained stream of building blocks instead of a short spike followed by a crash. The combination also supports gut health, balances insulin levels, and helps absorb fat-soluble vitamins more effectively, particularly A, D, E, and K. So what's the ideal pairing? It's simple. Half a cup of cooked black beans and 1 or 2 soft-boiled eggs. Add a drizzle of olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, and a sprinkle of black pepper or turmeric. Enjoy it warm, within the first hour of waking. No fancy recipes, no supplements, just powerful nourishment your body understands. And if you haven't had eggs in years, whether due to cholesterol fears or dietary habits, it may be time to revisit them, because what once was labeled dangerous may now be your most powerful ally. Now that you've fueled your body, it's time to activate it. The breakfast you've just eaten, black beans and eggs, has primed your muscles with the nutrients they need. But to deliver those nutrients where they're needed most, your body requires one more signal, and that signal is movement. Not intense exercise, not weightlifting, just 10 minutes of gentle, focused motion that tells your nervous system, we're rebuilding, we're back in business. Here's what the science says. According to a 2021 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, older adults who performed light movement within 30 minutes of a high-protein meal experienced significantly greater amino acid uptake in their muscles compared to those who remained sedentary. It's not about burning calories, it's about opening the cellular gates that allow nutrients to be absorbed efficiently. When you move, even slightly, blood flow increases. Muscle fibers stretch and contract. Your brain sends signals to nerve endings that have been quiet for too long. This jumpstarts a process called muscle protein synthesis, which is already enhanced by the nutrients from your meal. Movement acts like a key turning in a lock, and it doesn't take much. Try this routine, right in your living room. March in place for 60 seconds, swinging your arms gently. Arm circles forward and backward, 30 seconds each direction. Seated leg extensions, lift 1 foot at a time while seated, hold for 3 seconds, then lower, do 10 per leg. Standing wall push-ups, place your hands on the wall, take a step back, and gently lower your body toward the wall. Do 8 to 10 reps. Side-to-side stepping, small steps to the left and right while keeping your balance steady. 1 minute. Finish with neck and shoulder rolls to relax and signal the end of movement. This routine boosts circulation, balance, and neuromuscular activation, all without risking strain or falls. Best of all, it builds habit strength. Your body starts to expect this burst of motion after your morning meal, creating a rhythm that's easy to maintain. Even seniors with joint pain or limited mobility can do a modified version. Do the movements seated. Go slower. Focus on range of motion over speed. What matters is that you're engaging your muscles while they're fueled, so they remember how to respond. And the benefits go far beyond strength. Seniors who incorporate light post-meal movement have shown improvements in digestion, insulin sensitivity, and mood regulation. That means fewer sugar crashes, more energy throughout the day, and better sleep at night. So don't wait until you feel strong to start moving. Move now, and strength will follow. You've fueled your body. You've moved with purpose. But sometimes, even when you're doing all the right things, results don't come because of the silent mistakes working against you. These aren't obvious errors. They're small daily habits that slowly weaken your muscles, disrupt recovery, and undo your progress without you even realizing it. Mistake 1. Skipping meals, especially breakfast. Many seniors believe eating less means staying healthier, but when you skip your morning meal, your body doesn't burn fat, it burns muscle. After an overnight fast, muscles are in a catabolic state, meaning they're breaking down tissue for energy. If you don't intervene with protein-rich food shortly after waking, your body continues breaking down lean mass, accelerating weakness and fatigue. Black beans and eggs at 7 a.m. aren't just a meal, they're a shield. Mistake 2. Relying on multivitamins instead of real food. It's easy to believe a pill can cover nutritional gaps, but most over-the-counter multivitamins aren't well absorbed by aging bodies, especially when taken without fat or on an empty stomach. Worse, they give a false sense of security. Real food like beans, eggs, and leafy greens deliver nutrients in a form your body recognizes and uses immediately. Supplements should support, not replace, your plate. Mistake 3. Long periods of sitting without interruption. Even if you exercise in the morning, sitting for hours afterward causes blood flow to stagnate and signals your muscles to go dormant. This is called sitting disease, and it's one of the biggest contributors to muscle atrophy in adults over 60. The fix? Set a timer. Every 30 to 45 minutes, stand, stretch, or walk a few steps. This micro-movement keeps muscle fibers active and responsive throughout the day. Mistake 4. Eating too late at night. Late-night meals, especially heavy ones, interfere with tissue repair during sleep. Your body needs to direct energy toward regeneration, not digestion. When you eat too close to bedtime, it disrupts your sleep cycle, increases inflammation, and reduces your ability to restore muscle overnight. Try to finish your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. Give your body time to do its best healing work. Mistake 5. Underhydration. Muscles are 75% water. Even mild dehydration can reduce strength, increase cramping, and slow recovery. Yet many seniors avoid drinking too much water out of fear of frequent bathroom trips. The truth is, sipping small amounts throughout the day, not chugging, is the key. Add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon juice for better absorption and mineral balance. What if strength was never lost, only waiting to be remembered? What if your body hasn't given up, but has simply been waiting for you to feed it, move it, trust it again? For years we've been told that aging means decline, that muscle fades, energy drops, and independence slips through our fingers. But maybe that story was never yours to begin with, because right now, right this very moment, your body is listening. Every bite, every step, every choice becomes a signal, a message that says, "I'm not done yet." So before you go back to your routine, ask yourself, what else have I accepted as inevitable when it never truly was? Because if a $2 bean and 10 quiet minutes can restart your strength in just 14 days, imagine what the next 14 could bring. Do your legs feel weaker than they used to? Is it getting harder to climb stairs or even stand up from a chair? You've tried walking more, eating better, but nothing seems to work. The truth? You're not just losing strength. Your body is missing something. And it's not a new medication or another expensive vitamin. It's a 5-cent scoop of one forgotten nutrient, proven in study after study to help seniors rebuild leg muscle, improve balance, and even reverse the clock on aging muscles. Today we'll expose what it is and exactly how to use it. You try to stay active. Maybe you walk daily, stretch in the mornings, even lift light weights at home. You eat your protein, take your vitamins, and do all the things you're supposed to do. But somehow your legs still feel weaker, slower, less stable. That's not laziness or aging, it's sarcopenia, the silent loss of muscle mass that begins in your 50s and accelerates rapidly after 60. According to research published in Age and Aging, nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60 experience significant muscle deterioration. But here's the problem. Most seniors don't even know it's happening until a fall or injury forces them to notice. And when they do try to fix it, they often hear the same advice. Move more, eat more protein, stay active. But what if that's not enough? Here's the truth. After 60, your muscles stop responding to food and exercise the way they used to. It's called anabolic resistance, a fancy term for your body becoming less efficient at using protein to rebuild muscle. Even if you're eating well and staying active, the signals inside your muscles may be too weak to trigger repair. That's where creatine comes in. And no, it's not just for bodybuilders. This humble nutrient, used safely for decades in sports science, is now showing powerful benefits for seniors. According to a 2022 meta-analysis in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle, creatine supplementation led to significant improvements in muscle mass, leg strength, and even balance and walking speed in older adults. Here's why that matters. Creatine acts like a fuel booster for your muscles. It restores the energy your cells need to function, especially during everyday movements like standing up, walking, or stabilizing yourself. In one study from the University of Oklahoma, seniors who took just 5 grams of creatine daily while doing light resistance training gained nearly twice the muscle mass of those who didn't. Even without exercise, creatine showed measurable benefits in preserving lean body mass. And we're not talking about expensive supplements or complicated routines. Creatine monohydrate, the most studied form, is cheap, tasteless, and found in nearly every supplement store for less than 5 cents per scoop. Mix it in water, take it daily, and let your body do the rest. But we're just getting started. Because while creatine fuels your muscles, it also affects your brain, coordination, and recovery speed, critical for any senior who wants not just strength, but stability. In the next section, we'll explore exactly how creatine helps rebuild aging legs, down to the cellular level, and why skipping it could be costing you more than strength. Muscles aren't just about size. They're your power source, your shock absorbers, your internal scaffolding. And when they weaken, everything from standing up to walking across a room becomes a struggle. But here's what most people don't realize. Muscle strength starts at the cellular level, in something called ATP, your body's energy currency. And creatine? It's the raw material your muscles need to make more ATP fast. Think of it like this. ATP is a battery. Every time you take a step, lift your leg, or shift your balance, you're using that battery. In young bodies, ATP recharges quickly, but after 60, that recharge slows down. Muscles get tired faster. Recovery takes longer. Movement becomes harder. Creatine restores that battery power, giving your muscles the energy they need to fire efficiently. And the change doesn't take months. In many studies, seniors reported improved energy and strength within just 7 to 10 days of consistent use. A 2018 study published in Experimental Gerontology found that older adults who supplemented with creatine showed increased performance in lower body strength tasks, including leg presses and timed sit-to-stands. That's not about looking good, it's about function, like getting off the toilet without help or walking uphill without feeling like you'll tip over. But the benefits go deeper. Creatine also hydrates muscle cells, drawing water into the fibers and improving their volume, density, and elasticity. That added hydration acts like a cushion, reducing the risk of strain and promoting faster recovery after physical activity, even something as light as gardening or climbing a few stairs. And unlike caffeine or painkillers that wear off in hours, creatine builds up in your system. The longer you use it, the more stable, lasting strength you gain, without the roller coaster crash. There's also growing evidence that creatine enhances neuromuscular communication, the electrical signals that travel from your brain to your muscles. This is especially important after 60, when those signals often slow down, leading to poor coordination, balance issues, and that frightening moment when your legs don't respond the way they should. One review from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition noted that creatine may even help reduce fall risk by improving the speed and accuracy of these muscular responses. This means your legs won't just feel stronger. They'll actually respond faster, making you more stable, more confident, and less vulnerable to stumbles or slips. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. A simple scoop a day, stirred into your water or morning tea, is enough to set these changes in motion. In the next section, we'll walk through how to take creatine the right way, the timing, the dosage, and a few important things to avoid if you want real results fast. Let's clear one thing up right now. Creatine is not a steroid. It's not just for gym rats. And no, you don't need to be lifting heavy weights to benefit from it. In fact, studies show that even without exercise, seniors who take creatine experience increased muscle retention, energy, and improved walking speed. So how do you take it correctly? It starts with the right type, creatine monohydrate. It's the most studied, most effective, and most affordable form, used in nearly every scientific trial. Skip the fancy new formulas. They cost more and don't work any better. Next, the dosage. Here's the good news. You only need 3 to 5 grams per day. That's one small scoop, about the size of a teaspoon. No loading phase, no cycling. Just consistency. You can take it at any time of day, but for optimal absorption, mix it with a meal or a warm beverage. Why? Because insulin helps shuttle creatine into your muscle cells, and eating a small meal can boost this process naturally. Some seniors prefer adding it to their morning tea or coffee. Others stir it into yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie. It dissolves best in warm liquids, but don't worry, it's completely tasteless and odorless. You won't even know it's there. What about side effects? The most common? A little water retention in the muscles. That's not bloating, that's hydration. And it's exactly what helps plump up shrinking muscle fibers. As for the old myth about kidney damage, multiple studies, including a 2020 review in Nutrients, confirm that creatine is safe for healthy seniors when taken at recommended doses. If you already have chronic kidney disease, check with your doctor. But for most older adults, creatine is safer than many over-the-counter supplements. Another myth? You need to load creatine by taking high doses for a week. That's outdated. A steady daily dose of 3 to 5 grams is all you need. Within 7 to 14 days, many seniors report stronger legs, easier movement, and less fatigue. And here's something few people talk about. Absorption matters. If you're taking it but not seeing results, it could be due to digestive issues, dehydration, or not taking it consistently. Creatine works cumulatively. It builds up in your system. Miss a few days? You don't lose progress, but you do slow it down. And remember, this isn't about instant transformation. It's about daily strength, joint support, and fall prevention over time. Now, what happens when you combine creatine with the right kind of movement, even something as simple as light stretching or resistance bands? That's where things really start to shift. In the next section, we'll break down how pairing creatine with low-impact exercises can skyrocket your results without putting stress on your joints. Here's the truth. You don't need to join a gym. You don't need to lift weights. And you definitely don't need to do anything that hurts. But if you want to maximize the power of creatine, the secret lies in gentle movement, the kind that tells your muscles, hey, we still need you. Because when creatine enters your system, it's like giving your muscles high-quality fuel. But movement? That's the ignition key. Let's start with the most powerful move for leg strength after 60. Sit to stands. Just standing up from a chair and sitting back down, slowly, with control. It activates your thighs, glutes, calves, and core all at once. One 2020 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that seniors who practiced sit-to-stands 5 times a day significantly improved their balance and leg endurance in just 2 weeks. No gym, no gear, just a sturdy chair. Next, try the wall push-up with heel raise. Stand an arm's length from a wall, press your hands into it, then rise onto your toes and slowly lower. It improves calf strength, ankle stability, and even posture. Do this near a table for balance if needed. Want better circulation and less stiffness? March in place for 60 seconds. Slowly lift your knees, one at a time, while swinging your arms gently. You're not just waking up your legs, you're improving neuromuscular response so that your muscles react faster when you move. That can be the difference between catching your balance or falling. Add in ankle circles, toe taps, or even light resistance band leg extensions while seated. These movements boost blood flow, signal your body to absorb more creatine, and help restore the coordination between brain and muscle that often fades with age. But the real key? Consistency. You don't need to do 30 minutes. You just need to do something daily. Even 5 minutes of movement paired with creatine triggers what scientists call muscle protein synthesis, your body's internal process for building strength. Don't underestimate the power of this. In a 2021 study published in Nutrients, older adults who paired creatine with light resistance training gained significantly more muscle mass and walking power than those who used either alone. The takeaway? It's not about pushing yourself to the limit. It's about showing up every day, even for a little, and letting your body respond. These simple movements, done consistently, will turn creatine from a supplement into a strength-building tool. Your muscles will feel fuller, your legs will feel more responsive, and those small victories, getting up easier, walking longer, standing taller, will start adding up fast. In the next section, we'll look at something even more powerful: the surprising brain benefits of creatine. Because stronger legs are only part of the picture. When your mind and muscles work in sync, your entire body transforms. It's easy to think of strength as something physical: muscles, movement, power. But behind every step you take is a command from your brain, a signal, a spark, a decision made in milliseconds. And after 60, those signals can slow down. Maybe you felt it: a delayed reaction when getting out of bed, a moment of hesitation on the stairs, a stumble that felt like it came out of nowhere. That's not clumsiness, it's your brain and body falling out of sync. But here's where creatine does something remarkable. Your brain, just like your muscles, runs on ATP, your body's cellular energy. And creatine isn't just found in muscle tissue, it's stored in the brain, too. It's one of the few nutrients that can cross the blood-brain barrier, directly fueling your brain cells when they start to run low. According to a 2019 review in Frontiers in Nutrition, creatine supplementation in older adults has been linked to faster cognitive processing, better memory recall, and improved task switching, especially under fatigue. In simple terms, creatine helps your brain fire faster and more clearly. That means your reaction time improves, your balance stabilizes, your confidence in motion returns, and when your brain is sharp, your body responds in kind. In a split second, you can adjust your foot position, tighten your grip on a railing, or shift your weight before you fall. That tiny window, those 300 milliseconds, can be the difference between a bruise and a broken hip. But there's more. Studies show that creatine may also support mood regulation and mental clarity, reducing symptoms of fatigue and brain fog. In seniors who reported low energy or mental sluggishness, creatine often helped restore a sense of alertness and vitality within weeks. Why does this matter? Because aging isn't just about physical decline. It's about preserving independence. And when your brain feels sharp, your decisions get faster, your coordination gets cleaner, and your confidence to move in public, at home, or outdoors comes back. So no, creatine isn't just about muscle, it's about mental resilience. It's about syncing your movements with your mind, so that every step, every turn, every action feels intentional, responsive, and safe. In the next section, we'll reveal the top 3 mistakes seniors make when using creatine, and how to avoid them, so you don't waste time, money, or effort on what could be the simplest strength upgrade of your life. By now you know creatine can rebuild strength, sharpen your mind, and restore confidence in your body. But here's the part no one talks about. Most seniors who try creatine give up too soon, not because it doesn't work, but because they make 3 simple, preventable mistakes. Let's break them down, so you don't waste a single scoop. Mistake number 1, inconsistency. Creatine doesn't work like caffeine. You don't feel it instantly. It's not a buzz, it's a buildup. Your muscles and brain need time to saturate with creatine, usually 7 to 21 days. That's why the key is daily use. Miss a day here or there? Fine. But skipping 3, 4, or 5 days at a time resets the clock. It's like trying to fill a pool with a leaky hose. You never reach the level that makes a difference. Think of creatine as a slow-moving elevator. Once it reaches the top, you stay strong and steady, but only if you keep pressing the button every day. Mistake number 2, not drinking enough water. Creatine draws water into your muscle cells. That's part of how it hydrates and strengthens them. But if you're dehydrated, your body can't absorb it properly. The result? You feel sluggish. You might blame the creatine. But the truth is, your muscles are asking for more fluid to make it work. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day. More if you're active or live in a dry climate. Adding a pinch of salt or an electrolyte powder can also help absorption, especially in the morning. Mistake number 3, taking the wrong kind. Marketing loves to confuse people, so you'll see creatine ethyl ester, creatine HCl, micronized creatine, and more. Here's what decades of science say. Stick with creatine monohydrate. It's the gold standard, the one used in over 90% of clinical trials, and the one proven to help seniors build leg strength, improve cognition, and enhance mobility. All the other versions? No better, just more expensive. And one bonus mistake? Taking creatine with just water on an empty stomach, thinking that's healthier. Creatine absorbs better with food, especially carbohydrates. Add it to a smoothie, stir it into yogurt, or take it after a small meal. Your muscles will thank you. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll unlock everything creatine is capable of. Stronger legs, quicker recovery, sharper thinking, real, lasting results. 7 days. That's all it takes to start feeling the shift. We're not talking about bodybuilder gains. We're talking about something far more powerful: stability, confidence, energy, the ability to move through your day without second-guessing your legs. Here's what can happen when a senior starts taking 1 scoop of creatine daily, consistently, for just 1 week. Day 1. You mix it into your morning tea. It tastes like nothing. It feels like nothing. But something inside your muscles starts to change. Cellular hydration increases. The recharge process begins. You may not feel it yet, but your body knows something different is coming. Day 2. You feel a bit more steady getting out of bed. It's subtle, but when you stand up, your legs don't tremble like they usually do. Is it in your head? Maybe. But it's also in your cells. ATP production, your muscles' energy fuel, is rising. Day 3. There's a new kind of energy. Not a jolt, not a buzz, just ease. You walk from the kitchen to the living room without gripping the counter. Your knees don't ache as much when you sit. You feel more present, more capable, like your body is listening again. Day 4. You sleep better. Your muscles feel less tight. You wake up without that deep fatigue dragging you down. Studies show creatine supports sleep quality by improving cellular energy in brain and muscle tissue. Now you're experiencing it firsthand. Day 5. You bend over to pick something up and realize you didn't think twice. Your legs caught you. Your balance held. That moment that used to feel risky, now it feels routine. Your body didn't hesitate. That's neuromuscular response catching up with your mind. Day 6. You go for a walk. Same route, but it feels lighter. Your stride feels fuller. You even take the stairs instead of the elevator. Just 1 flight, but it's 1 more than you took last week. That's progress, and you feel it. Day 7. You notice something unexpected. It's not just your legs, it's your mood, your clarity. The way you're thinking feels faster, sharper, less foggy. Your posture, taller, your pace, more confident. You're still you, but you feel like a stronger version of you. All of that in just 1 week. And this is only the beginning. Because when creatine becomes part of your daily rhythm, those early wins turn into lasting change. Every cell in your body begins to operate with more fuel, more resilience, and more purpose. In the final section, we'll bring it all together and leave you with one question that could redefine how you age from this point forward. Here's the part most people miss. Muscle doesn't just disappear overnight. It doesn't vanish in one fall or one skipped workout or one bad week. It fades quietly, one unsteady step at a time, one chair you start avoiding, one flight of stairs that feels just a little too steep. And just like that, independence starts slipping away. But what if you could reverse that? What if 5 cents a day could start buying it back? Not in theory, but in measurable, physical strength. No hype, no fads, just one scoop, one decision. 1 week from today, you're waking up with more power in your legs, more balance in your steps, and more clarity in your mind. Not because of a miracle, but because of consistency, because of a nutrient your body already knows how to use, one that's been proven, tested, and trusted, but overlooked by the very people who need it most. You don't have to feel like you're slipping anymore. You don't have to just accept weakness. You don't have to wait for a fall to take action. Your muscles are listening. Your body is still capable. And every gram of creatine you give it is one step back toward strength. So here's the question. What happens if you start tomorrow? What happens when you wake up 7 days from now and you feel it? Don't answer now. Feel it. Let your legs tell you. You could be losing up to 8% of your muscle mass every decade after 40, and by the time you notice, it's already too late. Scientists have a name for it: sarcopenia. And it's not just about getting weaker. It's what's silently stealing your balance, independence, and even years from your life. But what if a simple amino acid derivative, backed by over 50 clinical studies, could flip that switch back on? This overlooked compound is called HMB, and it may be the missing link in your muscle recovery after 60. By the time most people hit 60, they've already lost up to 20% of their total muscle mass, and they don't even realize it. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, creeping process. First, it's harder to get up from a chair. Then the morning walks feel heavier. Eventually, stairs become a challenge, not because of age, but because the body is missing something critical. This condition has a name: sarcopenia, the age-related loss of skeletal muscle and strength. It's one of the biggest predictors of falls, fractures, and loss of independence. And yet millions of seniors walk around with it undiagnosed, thinking they're just slowing down. But what if the issue isn't age? What if the missing link is a compound that your body used to make naturally and now can't keep up with? That compound is called HMB, short for beta-hydroxy-beta-methylbutyrate. It's a powerful molecule your body produces when it breaks down the amino acid leucine, which is found in protein-rich foods. But here's the problem. Aging bodies don't convert leucine into HMB efficiently. And that's the catch. You could be eating enough protein, doing light exercise, even drinking protein shakes, and still be losing muscle. According to a 2013 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, adults over 60 who took HMB for just 12 weeks preserved significantly more lean body mass compared to those who didn't, even when they weren't exercising. Another landmark paper in experimental gerontology revealed that HMB doesn't just slow down muscle wasting, it actually enhances muscle protein synthesis, even in people who are immobilized or recovering from surgery. That's unheard of in traditional nutrition. So why isn't every senior being told about this? Because HMB is not a vitamin. It's not a drug. It falls into a strange gray area, technically a metabolite, not a mainstream supplement, which means it doesn't get the attention it deserves. No big marketing campaigns, no TV ads, just quiet clinical science and powerful results for those who know where to look. But we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll break down exactly how HMB protects your muscles and why it works, even if you're not exercising like you used to. To understand why HMB is such a breakthrough for muscle preservation, you first have to understand what's happening behind the scenes in your muscles every single day, especially as you age. Your muscles are constantly breaking down and rebuilding. It's a cycle called muscle protein turnover. In younger bodies, this process is balanced, but as we age, the breakdown speeds up while the rebuilding process slows down. That imbalance is the root of sarcopenia, and the worst part? Even light illness, stress, or just a few days of being sedentary can drastically accelerate the loss. That's where HMB steps in. Unlike regular amino acids or protein powders, HMB works directly at the cellular level to protect your muscle tissue from breaking down. In fact, studies show that HMB is one of the few nutrients clinically proven to reduce muscle protein breakdown in aging adults. It does this in two ways. First, HMB activates a molecular pathway known as mTOR, the signal your body uses to start building new muscle. Without mTOR activation, even high-quality protein can pass through your system without ever being used for repair. HMB flips that switch back on, especially when the body's natural ability to respond to protein is declining. Second, HMB suppresses another system, the ubiquitin proteasome pathway. This is the mechanism your body uses to tear down muscle during stress, injury, or periods of inactivity. In younger people, this breakdown is quickly reversed, but in older adults, it often goes unchecked. HMB blocks the signal that tells your body to burn muscle for fuel. In simple terms, HMB is like a dual-action lock. It shuts down the destructive process while jump-starting the regenerative one. And here's where it gets even more powerful. A double-blind, placebo-controlled trial conducted at Iowa State University found that adults over 65 who took 3 grams of HMB daily for 8 weeks experienced dramatic improvements in muscle function and leg strength, even without changing their physical activity. Grip strength, balance, and walking speed all improved. And in those who combined it with light resistance training, the gains were even more impressive. HMB is also anti-inflammatory. It lowers markers like TNF-alpha and IL-6, compounds that are often elevated in aging adults and are directly linked to muscle degradation and chronic fatigue. That means HMB doesn't just build, it also protects. Now you might be wondering, if this compound is so effective, how do you actually take it? How much do you need? And are there natural ways to support your body's own production of HMB? That's what we're diving into next, because knowing how to use HMB is just as important as knowing what it does. So, now you understand what HMB is, and why your aging muscles may be silently crying out for it. But here's the next critical piece. How do you actually take it for results you can feel? Let's start with dosage. According to most clinical studies, the optimal daily dose of HMB is 3 grams, divided into 2 or 3 servings across the day. That's what researchers used in a pivotal meta-analysis published in Aging Research Reviews, which showed consistent increases in lean body mass and improved physical performance among older adults. You don't need to cycle it. You don't need to load it like creatine. Just a consistent daily intake, and your muscles begin to shift from breakdown mode to preservation and repair. But timing does matter. To maximize absorption, HMB should be taken 30 to 60 minutes before physical activity, whether that's a walk, gentle yoga, or even just doing chores around the house. Why? Because HMB has a peak activation window where it amplifies muscle response and blunts breakdown during activity. If you're not active, No problem. You can still take it with breakfast or a light protein-rich meal. This allows the HMB to piggyback on your body's natural digestion rhythm and get into your system more efficiently. Now let's talk about form. HMB comes in two primary formats: HMB free acid and HMB calcium salt. Both are effective, but studies suggest the free acid form is absorbed faster and stays in the bloodstream longer. That means your muscles get more of the benefit, especially if your digestion is slower or less efficient with age. Most commercial supplements contain either 1 gram per capsule or 1.5 grams per scoop if in powder form. That means a full daily dose typically requires 2 to 3 capsules or a single scoop of powder, taken once or split twice daily. What about food sources? Unfortunately, there's no meaningful amount of HMB in any whole food. Even if you consumed pounds of high-leucine foods like eggs, tuna, or chicken daily, you'd only get a fraction of what your muscles need. That's because only about 5% of the leucine you eat is converted into HMB, and that percentage drops further with age. In short, you can't eat your way to optimal HMB levels. Supplementation is the only clinically effective route, but pairing it with the right nutrients does matter. For example, combining HMB with vitamin D has shown synergistic effects in seniors, improving balance, reducing fall risk, and enhancing strength. One 2011 study in clinical nutrition found that seniors taking HMB plus 800 IU of vitamin D per day showed twice the improvement in muscle mass versus HMB alone. The takeaway? If you're serious about reversing muscle loss, HMB must be taken consistently at the right dose and ideally alongside supportive nutrients like vitamin D and high-quality protein. But what about the results? What happens in your body after a week, a month, or 3 months of using HMB correctly? In the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly what kind of progress to expect, how fast it works, and what changes to watch for that signal your body is beginning to recover. If you've made it this far, you're probably wondering, how soon will I notice a difference? Will I actually feel stronger? Or is this just another overhyped supplement? The answer? You absolutely can feel it, if you stay consistent. But like any healing process, it starts small. Let's talk timelines. According to a randomized trial published in the Journal of Gerontology, seniors supplementing with 3 grams of HMB daily began to show measurable improvements in muscle mass and strength within 2 to 4 weeks. But the most noticeable changes, those you can truly feel in your body, typically appear around the 6 to 8 week mark. So what should you expect? Week 1 to 2. You may not notice a dramatic shift yet, but subtle signs will begin to emerge. You might feel less sore after walking or doing household chores. You may wake up with a bit more energy and your legs might not feel as heavy. That's HMB starting to reduce inflammation and protect your muscle tissue from further breakdown. Week 3 to 5. This is when the body begins building back. You might notice more stability when getting out of bed or rising from a chair. If you do light resistance training or stretching, you'll likely recover faster, less fatigue, less soreness. Climbing stairs becomes easier, and your legs feel a bit more responsive. This is because HMB is now stimulating muscle protein synthesis, helping you regain lean muscle without the strain of a gym. Week 6 to 8. Now the progress becomes real. People often report being able to walk longer distances without stopping. Some feel less wobbly, more balanced, even confident on uneven ground. Your grip strength may improve, your endurance starts to return, and more importantly, your motivation to stay active grows. Why? Because feeling better leads to doing more, and doing more reinforces strength. According to researchers at McMaster University, seniors who took HMB while doing just 2 days of light resistance training per week saw a 3-fold increase in leg strength over those who trained without it. The takeaway? Even if you're not exercising, HMB gives your body the raw materials to rebuild. but if you pair it with movement, the results can multiply. Here's a final key sign to watch for: mental clarity and mood. Many people overlook this, but HMB's ability to lower inflammation and restore strength has a cascading effect. Less fatigue, better sleep, improved confidence, even reduced anxiety around movement. So if you start to feel sharper, calmer, more in control, that's not a coincidence. It's your body recovering from the inside out. Next, we'll look at the most common mistakes people make when taking HMB, errors that can block results or even reverse progress. Knowing what not to do could make the difference between wasting time and truly transforming your strength after 60. Now that you know what HMB can do and what kind of results to expect, it's time to uncover the pitfalls, the silent mistakes that could keep you stuck in muscle-wasting mode even if you're taking the supplement. Because the truth is, most people take HMB the wrong way, and when the results don't show up, they give up, thinking it doesn't work. Let's break down the top mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake 1. Taking too little many. Over-the-counter HMB supplements come in small capsules with just 500 to 1,000 milligrams per serving, but the clinically effective dose for adults over 60 is 3 grams per day. That's 3,000 milligrams. If you're only taking 1 capsule a day, you're underdosing by 66%. It's like trying to fix a leaky roof with a teacup. Solution: read the label carefully. If it doesn't provide 3 grams total per day, it's not enough. Look for powders or formulas that clearly state 3g of HMB per serving. Mistake 2. Inconsistent use. HMB isn't a quick-hit energy booster. It works by rebuilding tissue slowly over time. Skipping days or taking it only when you remember resets the clock on your progress. Consistency isn't optional. It's essential. Solution: take it every day, even on rest days. Try linking it to another habit, like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast, to make it automatic. Mistake 3. Expecting gym-level results. Without movement, HMB can preserve muscle even during periods of inactivity, but its real magic shows up when paired with movement. Light walking, chair exercises, or resistance bands can dramatically accelerate recovery. If you're taking HMB but still sedentary 90% of the day, your gains will be minimal. Solution: add just 15 to 20 minutes of gentle movement per day. That's enough to trigger the growth signal that HMB enhances. Mistake 4. Taking it with sugar-heavy meals. High sugar intake spikes insulin and blunts protein absorption. If you're mixing HMB with sugary shakes, pastries, or sweetened yogurt, you could be blocking its absorption window. Solution: take HMB with a balanced protein meal or alongside a light, low-sugar breakfast. Mistake 5. Ignoring vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is a cofactor for muscle metabolism. If your levels are low, HMB won't work as effectively. According to a 2010-20 study in Nutrients, up to 80% of adults over 65 have insufficient vitamin D. Solution: consider getting your vitamin D levels checked. Supplement with 800 to 2,000 IU daily if needed, especially if you get little sun exposure. Avoid these traps, and your results with HMB will go from mildly noticeable to life-changing. But here's the real question. What happens when you stop taking HMB? Will your muscles go back to wasting away, or can the results last? In the next few minutes, we'll explore what happens after HMB, how to maintain your strength gains for the long haul, and whether HMB should be a short-term fix or a permanent part of your daily health plan. Here's a question that's rarely addressed but absolutely critical. If I stop taking HMB, will I lose everything I gained? The short answer: not immediately, but yes, over time. HMB isn't like a painkiller or caffeine. It doesn't just mask symptoms. It actively builds and protects muscle at the cellular level. But like any foundational nutrient, Its effects are only sustained while your body has access to it. When you stop taking HMB, your body doesn't go into shock. You won't suddenly lose strength overnight. But here's what starts to happen behind the scenes. The anti-catabolic effect, the muscle-sparing shield, begins to weaken. Muscle protein synthesis starts to slow down again. If your physical activity remains low or inconsistent, the natural muscle breakdown associated with aging resumes, often silently. In one study from the International Journal of Sports Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism, researchers tracked older adults who discontinued HMB after an 8-week supplementation period. Within 3 to 4 weeks, their muscle preservation markers returned to baseline, and some participants began to lose lean mass again, particularly those who didn't maintain physical activity. Think of HMB like a scaffold around a building under construction. While it's in place, everything is being reinforced. But once the scaffold is removed and no maintenance follows, gravity takes over again. That said, there's good news. If you've been supplementing consistently for at least 8 to 12 weeks, your body has likely built up a higher baseline of muscle mass and improved metabolic health. That means you're not starting from zero if you pause. It just becomes more important to support what you've built. So how do you do that? 1. Keep moving. Even without HMB, daily movement helps signal the body to maintain muscle tissue. 2. Prioritize protein, ideally 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That helps protect lean mass. 3. Get enough vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3s. These nutrients support the muscle-nerve connection. 4. Monitor how you feel. If you notice slipping energy, weakness returning, or balance issues creeping in, it may be time to restart your HMB. For many seniors, especially those recovering from illness, surgery, or long periods of inactivity, HMB becomes a core daily tool, like a multivitamin, but specifically for muscle strength and mobility. So is it safe to take long-term? Absolutely. In fact, multiple studies have shown that daily HMB intake over 12 months is not only safe, but may also reduce the risk of hospitalization from falls or fractures by maintaining muscular stability and independence. In the next section, we'll explore how to choose the right HMB supplement, what to look for on the label, red flags to avoid, and how to make sure you're actually getting what you paid for. Because not all supplements are created equal. And when it comes to your strength, the details matter. So, you've made the decision. You're ready to try HMB. But now comes the confusing part, choosing the right one. You walk into a store or search online, and suddenly you're faced with dozens of bottles, powders, and blends, each promising better results than the last. The question is, how do you know which one will actually help your muscles, and which ones are just expensive fillers? The first thing to understand is that not all HMB supplements are created equal. In fact, many of the products on shelves today aren't even using the form of HMB that's been proven effective in clinical trials. Some include too little of the active compound. Others don't tell you how much you're getting at all. And that matters a lot. When you're looking for a good HMB supplement, start by finding one that clearly states it contains either calcium HMB or HMB in its free acid form. Both work, but the free acid version is absorbed faster and may stay in your system longer, especially if your digestion isn't as efficient as it once was. Some studies suggest this form offers a stronger protective effect for older muscles. Now here's where many people go wrong. They pick a supplement that sounds impressive but only gives you 500 milligrams per serving. That's just half a gram. The research shows that older adults need 3 full grams of HMB daily to see real results. If your product only gives you 1 small capsule a day, it's not doing enough. You'd need 6 of those pills every day just to reach the minimum. That's not only ineffective, it's a waste of time and money. Quality also matters. Try to choose a product that's been third-party tested for purity. These are supplements that have been verified by independent labs, meaning you're getting exactly what's on the label. That's especially important for older adults, because supplements with hidden additives or contaminants can interact poorly with medications or put extra strain on your body. While some HMB supplements come bundled with other ingredients like creatine or caffeine, be cautious. For younger gym goers, those combinations might make sense. But for seniors, especially those managing blood pressure or taking multiple medications, these formulas can do more harm than good. Stick with HMB on its own unless a healthcare professional says otherwise. You also don't need to spend a fortune. HMB isn't a luxury compound. It's affordable to produce. If you see a bottle priced at $70 or more, chances are you're paying for branding, not quality. But on the flip side, if something seems unusually cheap, take a close look. Some bargain brands include just a fraction of the necessary dose. If you prefer convenience, capsules work well. But if swallowing pills is difficult, there are tasteless powder forms that mix easily into smoothies, oatmeal, or even water. They absorb quickly and don't require digestion-heavy meals to be effective. At the end of the day, choosing the right HMB supplement isn't about hype. It's about getting a clean, clinically dosed, transparent product that works with your lifestyle and supports your goals. Your muscles don't care about marketing. They care about being fed what they need to rebuild, repair, and protect you from decline. And that leads us to our final and most powerful message. Muscle isn't just about mobility, it's about life. In the next section, we'll uncover why building strength after 60 is the most important investment you can make, not just for your body, but for your independence, your confidence, and even your brain health. Let's take a step back. This video hasn't just been about a supplement. It's been about something far more important: the ability to live with strength, confidence, and independence after 60. We've spent decades thinking of muscle as something only athletes or gym-goers need. But science is rewriting that belief. Today, researchers are calling muscle the organ of longevity. Not just because it moves your body, but because it protects it against disease, falls, inflammation, and even cognitive decline. Your muscles aren't just fibers and tissue. They are a metabolic engine, regulating how your body uses fuel, how your brain fires signals, and how you recover from stress. When muscle mass declines, everything else begins to falter. You feel more tired, more wobbly, more forgetful. And slowly the world becomes smaller. Stairs are avoided, walks are shortened, hobbies get pushed aside. Not because of age, but because of loss of muscle strength. But here's the truth. This isn't inevitable. You can reverse muscle loss. You can rebuild your foundation, even if it's been years. Not by lifting heavy weights or spending hours at the gym, but by giving your body what it needs to do the job it was born to do: repair, recover, and regenerate. HMB is just one tool in that process. A molecule that fills a gap your body can no longer fill on its own. But more important than the supplement is the signal you send to yourself when you choose to act. Because every time you take a step towards strength, you're telling your body, "I'm not done yet." Every spoonful of protein, every deep breath during a walk, every stretch, every rep, every scoop of a supplement like HMB, it all counts. It tells your nervous system, "We are still building." It tells your muscles, "We are not in decline." And it tells your future self, "I'm choosing to stay in the game." Think about what strength really means at this stage of life. It means catching yourself before a fall. It means climbing into the passenger seat without hesitation. It means lifting your grandchild, carrying groceries, or getting out of a deep chair without a second thought. It means confidence. It means freedom. And yes, muscle is also a shield. Recent studies show that muscle mass is directly linked to reduced risk of dementia, lower rates of hospitalization, and even longer life expectancy. It's not vanity, it's vitality. So the question now isn't whether HMB works, it's whether you're ready to support the most powerful system in your body, your muscle network. Because when you do, you don't just move better, you live better. And maybe, just maybe, you realize that strength after 60 isn't about turning back the clock. It's about building a future where you're in control, where every step is your own, and where the second half of life feels lighter, brighter, and full of power. One food, 1 week, massive change. Seniors in this new trial didn't just slow aging, they reversed it. Their legs grew stronger, their blood sugar dropped, and all it took was a daily dose of this forgotten fermentation powerhouse. The question is, why aren't more doctors talking about it? 1 in 3 adults over 60 is quietly losing their legs, not in a dramatic fall or a tragic accident, but in the slow, almost invisible way that sarcopenia creeps in. Muscle fibers shrink, blood sugar spikes become more frequent, and by the time the symptoms show up, like unstable walking, heavy legs, or struggling to rise from a chair, it's already late in the game. And here's the kicker. Many seniors don't even know it's happening. They think the fatigue is normal. The blood sugar roller coaster? Just part of aging. But behind the scenes, their bodies are spiraling toward frailty, and no one's ringing the alarm. Doctors might mention protein. They might suggest more walking. But rarely do they address the deep link between muscle metabolism and insulin resistance, a dangerous feedback loop that accelerates both muscle breakdown and type 2 diabetes. In fact, a 2022 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Endocrinology revealed that seniors with poor leg strength had more than double the odds of suffering from uncontrolled blood sugar. Why? Because muscle isn't just for strength, it's a metabolic powerhouse. The less muscle you have, the less glucose your body can process. So your sugar levels climb, your energy crashes, and your independence slowly slips away. But here's where things get even more frustrating. The standard medical advice: eat more meat, drink whey shakes, take your metformin. Yet for many seniors, this advice either doesn't work or makes things worse. Digestive issues, inflammation, high cholesterol. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. So what if the answer doesn't lie in protein powders or new prescriptions, but in a 1,000-year-old fermented food hiding in plain sight? A food that not only stimulates muscle regeneration, but also stabilizes blood sugar naturally, even outperforming soy milk and tofu in recent trials. We'll break down the science in just a moment. But first, let's look at how this ancient food escaped Western medicine's radar for so long, and why that might be about to change. For over 1,000 years, tempeh was a staple in Indonesian kitchens. It was cheap, it was filling, and most importantly, it was functional. Not in a pharmaceutical way, in a folk wisdom kind of way. Villagers who ate tempeh regularly showed fewer signs of frailty, lower blood sugar, and remarkable vitality into their later years. But to Western doctors, it was just fermented soybeans, too exotic, too unfamiliar, too unprofitable. Fast forward to modern times. Tempeh's potential was buried under piles of diet fads and pharmaceutical patents. Meanwhile, seniors across the West were drowning in protein supplements, BCAAs, and blood sugar pills. All while the real solution sat quietly in the international aisle, misunderstood and ignored. Until now. In 2023, a groundbreaking clinical review out of Kyoto University shocked the geriatric nutrition community. Researchers compared 3 protein sources in aging adults: chicken breast, tofu, and tempeh. What they found? Only the group consuming tempeh showed simultaneous improvements in both leg muscle function and glucose regulation. Why? The answer lies in fermentation. When soybeans are fermented to create tempeh, something remarkable happens. The plant protein becomes pre-digested, making it easier for older bodies to absorb. But more importantly, fermentation activates powerful biopeptides and probiotics that directly influence muscle signaling pathways and insulin sensitivity. We're talking about compounds like lunacin, genistein, and equal, natural agents that mimic the effects of medications without the side effects. A study published in Nutrients in late 2022 even showed that tempeh consumption triggered a 28% increase in mTOR signaling, which is the primary pathway for muscle growth. Another trial? Seniors who added just 100 grams of tempeh daily saw improved grip strength, walking speed, and post-meal blood sugar within 21 days. And yet, how many doctors mention this? How many nutritionists prescribe it? Tempeh doesn't come in a shiny bottle. It's not backed by billion-dollar pharma marketing. It's not trendy enough to show up on your Instagram feed. But it works. It's what many experts are now calling a functional aging food, because it doesn't just nourish, it restores. Coming up, we'll break down exactly how tempeh stimulates aging muscles back to life, the specific dosage that delivered results in seniors, and what to avoid when buying it at the store. Because yes, not all tempeh is created equal. Your muscles aren't just for lifting, walking, or balance. They're your body's largest glucose sponge. When you eat, your blood sugar rises, and healthy muscle tissue soaks it up, like a towel drying off a spill. But here's the twist. As muscle mass declines with age, your body loses that sponge. Glucose has nowhere to go. So it lingers in your bloodstream, spiking your levels and triggering insulin resistance. This is where tempeh becomes a game changer. Unlike regular soy or tofu, tempeh is teeming with activated nutrients. Nutrients that don't just feed your body, but signal your cells to rebuild muscle and respond better to insulin. Let's break it down. Step 1. Enhanced absorption through fermentation. Aging guts often struggle to digest dense proteins, but tempeh, it's already partially broken down by natural fermentation. This makes the amino acids immediately bioavailable, which means your muscles can use them fast without straining digestion. One randomized trial, published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging, showed that seniors who consumed fermented soy protein had 38% higher amino acid absorption rates compared to non-fermented protein. The result? Less inflammation, more muscle fuel, faster repair. Step 2. Biopeptides that trigger muscle. Growth tempeh contains compounds like lunacin and genistein, natural peptides shown to activate mTOR, the body's key muscle-building switch. When this switch is turned on, your muscle cells start rebuilding, even if you're older, sedentary, or recovering from injury. And unlike synthetic supplements, tempeh does this without overstimulating insulin, making it ideal for seniors managing blood sugar. A 2021 Japanese meta-analysis found that consistent intake of fermented soy foods increased muscle mass in older women without any changes in exercise habits. Let that sink in. Step 3. Probiotics that impact blood sugar fermentation doesn't just enhance nutrients, it adds living organisms. Tempeh contains natural probiotics that help regulate gut health, and as new science shows, your gut directly influences insulin sensitivity. Healthy gut bacteria equals improved glucose metabolism. In one small clinical trial, seniors with type 2 diabetes who consumed fermented soy saw their fasting blood sugar drop by nearly 17% in 4 weeks. And it gets better. Those same probiotics were linked to a reduction in inflammation markers that are commonly elevated in sarcopenia patients. So instead of working against your body, tempeh creates a healing loop. Better digestion, leading to stronger muscles, leading to lower blood sugar, leading to lower inflammation, leading to easier mobility, all from one simple, whole food. If you're thinking of adding tempeh to your diet, you're on the right track. But before you toss it into your grocery cart, there's something you absolutely need to know. Because while tempeh can be incredibly powerful for rebuilding muscle and lowering blood sugar, the benefits depend entirely on how you use it and which kind you buy. Let's start with how much you actually need. Most studies showing significant improvements in seniors used an amount roughly the size of a deck of cards, somewhere between 80 to 120 grams a day. That's small enough to fit into any lunch or dinner. And tempeh is flexible. It can be steamed, sautéed in olive oil, baked until crispy, or even crumbled into a soup. It absorbs flavor like a sponge. Garlic, turmeric, a splash of tamari, or ginger can turn it into a nourishing centerpiece that doesn't feel like a chore to eat. But here's where things go wrong, fast. Walk into most supermarkets, and you'll see tempeh sealed in plastic, sitting on the shelf, drenched in barbecue sauce or maple glaze. It may look convenient. It may even sound tasty. But it's missing the very thing that gives tempeh its power. Most of these products are pasteurized. That means they've been heat-treated to extend shelf life. And in that process, the live probiotics, the good bacteria created during fermentation, are destroyed. These living cultures are what support gut health, reduce inflammation, and improve how your body handles glucose. Without them, you're essentially eating dead protein. Still healthy, yes, but not the metabolic and muscle-restoring miracle that unpasteurized tempeh can be. And there's more. Many of these mass-market versions are made with flavoring agents, added sugars, and preservatives. That sweet glaze you see? It often adds refined sugars that can trigger the very blood sugar spikes tempeh is supposed to help avoid. Even the texture can be misleading. Real tempeh, the kind used in clinical studies, has a firm but cake-like consistency. It looks earthy, sometimes with dark veins running through it. Those streaks aren't something to fear. They're a sign of natural fermentation. What you're looking at is Rhizopus oligosporus, a safe and essential mold that makes tempeh easier to digest and more beneficial to the aging body. Even how you cook tempeh matters. While frying it in oil or drowning it in salty sauce might enhance the taste, it also adds unnecessary fats and sodium, two things that can increase inflammation and blunt the food's benefits. Instead, try steaming it gently, or pan-searing it with just a bit of olive oil and anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric and black pepper. That combination doesn't just taste good. It compounds the benefits, amplifying recovery and blood sugar control at the same time. Here's what it all boils down to. Tempeh isn't a supplement. It's not a trend. It's a functional food, a tool. But like any tool, its power depends on how you use it. Get it right, and you could see real physical change. Get it wrong, and you might not see anything at all. Coming up next, you'll meet someone who got it right. A 74-year-old woman who went from needing the handrail just to make it upstairs, to hiking mountain trails again, all because of one small daily change. Her story is more than inspiring. It's proof. At 74, Margaret had made peace with her limitations. Or so she thought. The stairs in her townhouse had become her Everest. Every step was a negotiation between willpower and weakness. She clung to the railing like a lifeline, her legs trembling halfway up, her breath tight. It wasn't always like this. She used to hike. She gardened. She danced barefoot in her kitchen to Motown. But slowly, without a clear moment or event, those things disappeared. First came the tired legs, then the dizzy spells, then the fear. Her doctor called it normal aging, suggested more protein, gave her a handout on balance exercises and a bottle of metformin. She tried. She really did. Eggs in the morning, whey shakes in the afternoon, a walk around the block when she had the energy. But the fatigue didn't go away, and her fasting blood sugar kept creeping upward. Margaret's wake-up call came one afternoon when she fell, not from a stair but from standing still. Her knee gave out while folding laundry. The bruise faded. The fear didn't. That's when her daughter stepped in with something unexpected, a food Margaret had never even heard of. Tempeh. It looked strange, smelled a little nutty, but her daughter insisted. "Just give it a month," she said. "One serving a day, steamed, seasoned with garlic and herbs. No heavy sauces, no pills, no changes, just that." Margaret didn't believe it would work. She did it because she was scared not to try. Week 1 was uneventful. Same tired legs, same slow shuffle. But in week 2, she noticed something. She wasn't holding the railing quite as tightly. She was sleeping deeper. Her hands weren't trembling when she held her coffee cup. By week 3, she walked to the mailbox without sitting down halfway. That hadn't happened in 2 years. By week 4, she stopped needing the handrail at all. She started singing again in the kitchen. And one morning, she pulled her old hiking boots out from the closet. Not for a hike, not yet, but because for the first time in a long time, it felt possible. She returned to her doctor after 6 weeks. He checked her glucose numbers, raised an eyebrow, and asked what she changed. No new meds, no weight loss, just tempeh. Her fasting blood sugar had dropped nearly 20 points. Her grip strength had improved. And her balance test, once her weakest point, was back in the safe zone. What shocked Margaret the most wasn't how fast it worked. It was how simple it was. There was no complicated protocol, no physical therapy, no special diet. Just one forgotten food that fed her body in a way nothing else had. Margaret isn't an outlier. She's one of many. And as more seniors turn to functional foods instead of prescriptions, stories like hers are becoming harder to ignore. Up next, we'll explore exactly why so many medical professionals are rethinking aging nutrition, and the surprising reason some institutions still haven't embraced fermented healing, because behind the science lies a quiet resistance. A resistance rooted in profit, policy, and everything but people like Margaret. If tempeh is so effective, why haven't you heard about it? Why don't doctors bring it up during checkups? Why isn't it part of every senior's recovery plan? Why is a food that can rebuild muscles, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce inflammation barely mentioned, if at all? The answer, like most uncomfortable truths, isn't about science. It's about money. The global senior nutrition market is worth over $30 billion. And the muscle loss segment alone, what the medical industry calls sarcopenia management, is expected to double in the next decade. But here's the catch. Most of that money doesn't go to food. It goes to pills, to powders, to patented compounds and pharmaceutical solutions designed to treat symptoms rather than solve problems. Tempeh can't be patented. It grows mold. It doesn't come in a capsule. It won't make a biotech company billions or land on the front page of a trade magazine. So while universities quietly publish study after study showing its impact, while small clinics in Asia and parts of Europe begin integrating it into recovery protocols, the mainstream medical machine stays silent. And that silence costs people like Margaret years of strength, confidence, and independence. It's not that doctors don't care. It's that they're trained to look through a pharmaceutical lens. Most medical schools barely cover nutrition, let alone fermentation, biopeptides, or food-based muscle therapy. Instead, patients walk out with a prescription, a pamphlet, and a vague promise that aging is inevitable. Behind closed doors, institutions weigh evidence based not just on effectiveness, but on cost, scalability, and regulation. If something can't be monetized, it's rarely prioritized. Even insurance plays a role. Medications get coverage, tempeh doesn't. You can be reimbursed for muscle loss drugs, diabetic injections, even hospital stays from falls, but a nutrient-dense food that could have prevented it all? That's considered lifestyle, not medicine. And yet the data keeps mounting. Study after study links fermented whole foods with improved longevity, mobility, and metabolic health. The science is there, but systems don't change because of science. They change because of stories, because people like Margaret say, enough, because viewers like you realize you don't need permission to take your health into your own hands. In just a moment, we'll return to what matters most: action. What to do starting today, what to eat, what to avoid, and how to integrate this ancient food into your life in the most powerful way possible. Because no one is coming to rescue your muscles, and if you're waiting for a doctor to prescribe tempeh, you'll be waiting a long time. But if you're ready to change the trajectory of your health with what you put on your plate, that moment begins now. Let's be clear. This isn't a diet, it's not a detox, and it's definitely not a magic trick. This is a reset, a way to tell your body, especially your muscles and your metabolism, that you haven't given up on them yet. And in just 7 days, you can start to feel it. The best part? It takes less than 5 minutes a day. No new routines, no new equipment, no expensive supplements. Just one ingredient: tempeh. To begin, make sure you're getting the right kind. That means choosing unflavored, non-pasteurized tempeh, ideally from the refrigerated section of a health store or a well-stocked supermarket. The ingredients should be simple: whole soybeans, water, and a fermentation starter. Nothing else. Once you've got your tempeh, aim for 1 serving per day, about the size of your palm. That's roughly 80 to 100 grams. You can slice it, steam it, bake it, or gently pan-sear it in a splash of olive oil. Just don't fry it or drown it in sugary sauces. In the first 2 days you might not feel much. That's normal. The body needs time to recognize what it's receiving. But by day 3, many people report feeling a shift. Their digestion improves, energy levels stabilize, morning stiffness begins to fade, and their blood sugar, if tracked, starts showing less fluctuation after meals. By day 5, something else happens. Movement becomes easier. Not effortless, but easier. Your knees don't creak quite as much. Your legs feel a little less like cement. That single flight of stairs? No longer a summit. And by day 7, your body is no longer just coping. It's responding. The amino acids in tempeh have started rebuilding damaged muscle tissue. The natural isoflavones are calming inflammation. The living probiotics are repairing the gut, improving nutrient absorption, and sending signals to your pancreas that say, we're back in balance. This is what food as medicine actually looks like. No fads, no fanfare, just function. To get even more from the process, pair your daily tempeh with small changes that compound the effect. Take a short walk after dinner. Even 10 minutes is enough to signal your muscles to utilize the nutrients they just received. Stay hydrated, especially after your meal, to assist metabolic repair. And if you're comfortable, try seasoning your tempeh with turmeric and black pepper. Those 2 spices amplify tempeh's anti-inflammatory properties and make it easier for your body to recover from physical strain. But the most important ingredient isn't what's on your plate. It's consistency. Because this isn't about doing something once. It's about building a habit that tells your body, you're not done yet. You've got more strength to build, more years to walk with confidence, more life to live. On your feet, not from a chair. And if a small block of fermented soybeans can help you do that, why not start today? In the next and final section, we'll leave you with a thought that might stay with you longer than anything we've covered so far. Because what's truly powerful about food like tempeh isn't just what it does in your body. It's what it proves about you. Think about everything you've been told about aging. That weakness is inevitable. That slow decline is just the body doing what it does. That your muscles, once lost, can't be rebuilt. That your blood sugar, once unstable, can only be managed with prescriptions. But what if that's not true? What if your body has simply been waiting for the right signal, the right support, the right nourishment? What if you weren't broken, just underfed in the ways that mattered most? Because that's the real story here. Not tempeh, not soy, not even fermentation. The real story is this: your body is still listening, still fighting, still capable. Capable of rebuilding muscle, capable of restoring balance, capable of becoming stronger. At 70, at 80, beyond. You just needed something that spoke its language. And maybe that language wasn't written in milligrams or monitored with apps. Maybe it was ancient. Maybe it was quiet. Maybe it came wrapped in banana leaves, passed from hand to hand in a Javanese village, long before anyone thought to turn food into a profit model. And maybe, just maybe, it's not too late. Not for your legs, not for your sugar, not for your strength, your balance, your independence. Because now you know. And once you know, you can't unknow. You can ignore it. You can file it away. You can go back to the same protein shakes, the same doctor visits, the same cautious steps. Or you can test it, not forever, just for a week, one serving a day. Nothing to lose, except the fear that this is as good as it gets. And if you do, if you feel even the smallest change, a steadier breath, a stronger grip, a lighter step, then you'll know something even more powerful than any study could ever prove. Your body wasn't done, and neither are you.